All right, hello everybody. We're back. Version 2 Q&A session. We've had some interesting questions from the participants of the workshop. I'm going to be reading the questions, and Jimmy and I are going to answer them together. Or if Jimmy is better at answering a question, he'll answer them. Starting with the first one. Regarding XR festivals, will holographic display slash projection be a possible trend at XR film festivals in the future? And if 5G becomes available everywhere, do you see online showcase replacing much of the location-based VR showcase we currently see at festivals? Okay, well, I don't necessarily see, yeah, so that's the question I'm going to be answering. I don't necessarily see holographic projections per se as being super relevant in the near-time future. As far as I know, the hardware to show holographic projections without any headsets or whatever is fairly unavailable at the moment. So that also means that the investment for festivals to invest in that, to have this kind of hardware, is, I don't see that really much coming. What I do maybe see coming is an increase in mixed reality content that is showing holographic content, especially if Apple starts to release their glasses in 1 or 2 years. I will definitely, and also Magic Leap is going to hopefully have, with the 1 billion that they're spending, a better headset coming out. I will see for those kind of headsets some holographic content coming. I personally don't think that 5G on its own can cause the shift here, to change all these festivals for moving towards an online showcase. I believe it's a mix also of like the innovations of the headsets, as well as the optimization of the user experience in these sort of online showcases. For now, I believe the sort of the hybrid form, as we saw at the Venice Film Festival, where there is a physical showcase as well as an online showcase. I think that's going to become more common in the future. I'm happy that the conventional festivals are now testing with this sort of hybrid form, or an online form for that matter, forcing them to move the programming online and having a more online presence. I think that's super positive. I think that's something that us at VR days in the last couple of years we were very much struggling with, because you have you want to have this urgency for people to come together. At the same time, you also want to be able that people see as like that there's as many people as possible that see the pieces and that are able to be a part of the festival. But combining those two things together is difficult. However, if you have more of an online presence being facilitated also with 5G, that would be great. So I definitely hope that's going to be better. So question number 2. I would like to ask about 5G and VR. Besides targeting home users and 5G cell phone users, will they also target live performances? Have you come across such projects, and where are we in terms of the execution / application of 5G in live performances? Jimmy.
So from my perspective or my understanding, I want to say right now the live performance that combines 5G and VR together is still more focusing on, like the sports event, like a basketball game, or concerts. I think the reason is because most of the users are still like accessing their iPad and their mobile phones to really access into this kind of like a live performance. So basically, the experience that they can actually access is very limited, because we understand right now the cloud streaming and cloud rendering is still not really prepared. So basically, the phone can be very limited because it's still not a computer or as powerful as a headset. I think in the future, I mean, when more people are actually using VR headsets, no matter PC VR or like Quest or Quest 2, and also when the 5G infrastructure is even more ready in each country or in more countries, then the complexity of the live performance combining VR and 5G can be more complicated, It cannot just be it cannot just be like a dance or a concert or a sports. It can actually be mixed with like a real-time engine animation in the background, and also they can have more formats of the performance that to mix together as a one performance, and it's actually leveraging VR plus 5G.
Yeah, interesting. Let's hope that's going to go that way. It's going to be really great. Question 3. We have seen a lot of books adapted into films. Do you think that there is a possibility seeing books adapted into XR pieces? If so, what kind of books could be considered? How or where could the IP owners meet or approach the creative teams? And where were there any existing cases of book adaptations into VR content? Jimmy, you have a thought?
Yeah, I think it will work because I remember there was a project, I think it's called Stay Alive, My Son. It was pitching at CanXR. And that is a project talking about, the refugees and immigrants, from I think it's from Vietnam or from Thailand. And basically, we have, so many feature films, TV series. They are all coming from, comics, books. And this definitely works for XR. I think right now, because the XR industry is still immature, the distribution is not really ready yet. So basically, I want to say, don't choose topics that is very hard to reach out to people. You need to choose the story or the IP that is more relevant to every segment of audience. Basically, that means if you're choosing something that mostly people already know since they were a kid, or this is something that people are already like listening or like studying for the schools, or they are also in the feature films or somewhere else that you can see in the market, that can be a big help. Because if you choose something that is like really documentary driven, or really something that is very niche, maybe only one territories of people can understand, I think that will be a big challenge. Because right now I think the XR distribution, the best way you do it is if you're actually working on something that is related to people's life or to people's culture, or behavior or their knowledge. I think that will be a very big plus when you choose a book or a concept that wants to turn that into an XR project. I think that's my feeling.
Right, right. So my first thought here was, it's not a really big book, but it's a book nonetheless. It's Le Petit Prince, the Little Prince, which was turned into a VR experience, actually, 2 years ago, I guess. It is a book. It's also something, it's an IP that's, split up in various media already. So it's not that strange that it's also coming to XR. Um, in terms of like, IP owners, and where to find them. I think you have to first look at like what kind of XR, like what kind of books or like what kind of IP is actually already being used in various media and is already open to be licensed or open to be used for also XR, and maybe then try to reach out to those people. And where you find them is either at big major events, where you, for example, Venice has like a book adaptation rights market, or you go to big animation festivals like Annecy. I know that there's a lot of studios there and a lot of IP holders walking around, also looking for creators to work with and create new existing story or new or existing stories with their IP. Um, but yeah, for now, for VR, it's mainly like let's say the technological front runners, the risk takers, um, being like some of the big studios like Disney and Sony that are owning IP and that are investing and interested in creating immersive content. Other than that, smaller IP holders will either be hidden or not really like looking out, and you'll have to find them with your own lead generation, and that's pretty tough, but it's manageable. I wish you very good luck with that, because uh, I'm also doing that once in a while, and it's not that easy actually. But there's definitely databases out there for IP right holders that you can look for. That said, question 4 for Jimmy specifically. Why did you start doing VR content distribution? Were there any special cases you encountered, or maybe obstacles or surprises?
Okay, the reason why I started to do VR content distribution is because Digital Domain used to produce VR content, and we do have some IPs in hand. Some travel series, animation series, and some 6 projects. And because our spin-off company Iconic Engine is actually supporting Orange Deutsche Telekom since 2017 and 18 for their VR platform development. So these telecoms, they actually ask us, is it possible for Iconic Engine, Digital Domain, to support them to find good VR contents because they don't want to deal with 200 studios at one time. That will be so much manpower, so much time, so much paperwork that they need to handle. This is actually the reason I step into VR content distribution. Special cases, I would say the special cases that I encountered is to try to develop this as a business model, because telecom VR distribution never existed in the past. And I actually just entered this because we have clients that they request us to do it. So to me, this is actually the special cases that I have to understand what telecoms need, and then I have to understand what each studio needs. Basically, when I talk to studios, a lot of studios are asking me, Jimmy, we want you to pay minimum guarantee so you can represent for our project. But every time when I face this question, I always tell them, I'm sorry, we're not providing any minimum guarantee because this is a very immature distribution industry, and I have no idea if I can help you to find a potential deal. What I can do for you is I will sign the contracts and all the terms and all the NDA that you want, but you need to fully trust me that I will support you to represent your project and then demo to our telecoms. And then if a telecom that actually, choose your project, then we will support you to negotiate on the licensing fee, the terms, then we report to you. You can tell me, Jimmy, it's a go or a no-go. So basically, the special case is actually to develop this as a business model. And obstacles or surprises, I would say the obstacles is basically we don't have enough buyers in the world. So a very quick example, I have 150 studios content in my hand, over 450 titles, but I only have 8 or 9 buyers in the world, and they are all spending limited budget. Every deal I do, it's actually in between like $50,000 to $100,000. So basically, the money or the licensing fee I can actually generate for each project is still very, very low. I mean, a lot higher compared to 2016 to 2018, but still we have a long way to go. And I think the last one I want to enhance here is I only license about 70 studios content out at this moment. So another obstacle is I still have over half of the studios I want to take care of because they are trusting me so much. And to me, my pressure and my job is to find at least one deal for everybody. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Great. 5th question. We're already a little bit over time, I believe, so I'm going to keep it short. Do you think that there will be an XR platform as popular as Netflix, Amazon, or HBO? Well, I hope so. Do I think it's going to be there for 360 video? No, I don't think so. For XR content in general, yes, there's going to be a couple of leaders. Facebook is pretty much in the lead at the moment. I would say like the Oculus, not only in terms of hardware, but also in terms of the platform, is definitely becoming a leader in the world. Maybe not China, but definitely in all other countries in the world. And I only foresee this becoming bigger, especially with the Quest now 2 now coming out, and the other headsets really not doing as well in terms of creating an ecosystem. I foresee this being Oculus. I think you agree, Jimmy.
Yeah, I agree with you. For me, 360 video to become a platform, on like Netflix, Amazon, or HBO, it's not gonna work. But for like the premium XR projects, like multiplayer version or room scale 6 stuff, I think there is a future.
Yeah, yeah. That was the fifth question. So I would like to thank everybody for. I don't know how they gave the questions, but sending or giving the questions to the team, and I hope the answers were a little bit useful. If you have any other questions, please reach out to me or to Jimmy. I believe that our email addresses have been distributed, so please make use of that. We're always happy to help.
Yes, please write email to me or Doede or to the team. They will let us know. I think we both will be more than happy to answer as much as we know, because I think right now what we want to do is to share more information with every one of you guys in this industry, so we can actually help the industry to grow together.
That's
All
it.
right. Thank you, Doede. Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
man. Thanks
Thanks,
again.
man.